My name is Michael Davis. I'm Group Director at Draft FCB US, and the reason I joined the Berlin School program was to get an education that could mirror and be married to my industry experience. I've been involved in the advertising industry, the television industry, and the emerging media industry, and I thought the Berlin School would help me fill out an academic and structured approach to how I lead, taking maybe vision and precision of academia and marrying those together to create something completely new. I think the main benefits of the school for me is the diversity of all of the people in the class. I am learning more than I ever expected from the people who I usually don't work with on a day-to-day basis. I have multicultural teams, but I don't learn the basics of leadership with them. I'm working with them as peers. The peers that I have in the class are teaching me how to do business in their culture, which is completely different than the culture that I have in the United States. So really the Berlin School, based in Berlin, has given me a platform to learn from other people from around the world. Life in the classroom is controlled chaos. We're open to expressing different views. We're open to challenge each other, and then we're open for the structure of a classroom. And that is not necessarily a part of the creative process. It's a part of the learning process. So we're learning how to integrate this process of learning into our work lives. It's giving us a base to reach back into the classroom when we're faced with challenges in the workplace, and that comes from this chaotic, controlled structure here in the classroom. That does mirror the creative process at an agency, at a television company, really probably in any industry or discipline, and I think that's what the classroom brings. The classroom brings real-life experience into a structured, controlled atmosphere that really, if you look at the tape, is never really controlled. I think the changes in my leadership style based on the Berlin School program is affected my employees, has it affected my my leadership team, managing up, managing side, managing down. And I think the effect of the Berlin School has given them an appreciation of how to grow. And sometimes people in our business don't grow at an exponential rate. They stay stagnant, and change is very uncomfortable for people. So the change in me has made them a little uncomfortable, but hopefully with my leadership style and experience and the things that I bring from the Berlin School to my peers and to my supervisors and to the people that work for me is something so positive. The energy is so positive of learning that it's given them a platform to really kind of take it all in. And now they're actually asking for opportunities to learn. And maybe not necessarily an executive MBA, but they're looking for opportunities to grow, whether it be through my mentorship or through external training. They see the positive results of being active, and it's a form of being an activist. The school's biggest strength and what makes it different is the diversity. There are MBA programs all over the world. There are MBA programs all over the United States, where I'm from, and certainly from the people in the class, the countries that they come from. There's roughly 23 or 24 folks in my class, and there are only 4 people from the United States. For me, the biggest benefit is having a culture come together that is based on so many disparate pieces, and we created our own culture. We didn't mean to create it. It just happened. And you can't mandate a culture. You can't force people to like each other, to interact with each other. But I think the culture that just sort of grew from interacting with each other, that's been, for me, the biggest benefit. I think the big ideas come from looking at things a different way. And as a creative leader, I don't try to ever pigeonhole myself or put myself in a silo of how I lead. Really, each situation is different. Some things in class that became big ideas came from things that I think, for the class that we didn't know before. There are certain things about education or academia that has helped us to organize our ideas. For me, it might sound a little geeky or nerdy, but demand curves, economics, reaction curves, how to deal with a customer based on looking at something that is subjective and putting it into a framework that I can help other people see or feel why I want to move things or change things. Sometimes just speaking them, being inspiring, isn't enough. Sometimes you have to share, an analysis with people so they can see it. And it's not based on data analysis. I mean, certainly the input is based on data, but when you show somebody a graph or a chart or a demand curve, and it doesn't have to be anything in PowerPoint. It could be written on a wall. It can be written on a piece of paper. If they can see a framework by which you're starting to talk about something subjective, it becomes objective for them. And then you can prove your point. I would recommend the school and the program to anybody across any industry. And that might be a little bit more radical than knowing that creative leaders are going to come to the Berlin School of Creative Leadership. I really think that anybody in an industry where you need subjectivity, where you need to be able to create something, and it might not be the right MBA program for an accountant, but certainly anybody in the marketing fields across any industry. It doesn't matter if you work for a telecom or you work for an advertising agency. If you're dealing with the power of communication, I think having a structure around how you create, how you talk, how you look at finance, how you look at the world, how you want to change the world, I really think that the Berlin School can help anybody that needs to use their minds to create anything. And that can stretch across any discipline in any industry.